Meanwhile, the Coalition for Reforms and Democracy CORD has called off two of their rallies that were slated for this weekend to honor victims of the mpeketoni attack. The coalition, however, maintained that from early next month till Sabasaba Day, the rallies will be back on. But what exactly is the agenda in these rallies? KTN's Ashamulu takes an in-depth look.
Sabasaba. Sabasaba.
An unrelenting Raila Odinga in Kisii County reminded his supporters of the big agenda this coming month. The Coalition for Reform and Democracy is adamant that it will push on with its planned rallies ahead of the Sabasaba Day. However, CORD's scheduled rally in Kisii this weekend has been pushed to the 4th of July, while Nakuru rally slated for Sunday has been cancelled in honor of the mpeketoni attack victims. But even with this gesture of solidarity, the opposition is still in the spotlight for not cancelling all its rallies altogether. The government believes that CORD leaders are up to no good.
The inciters have also given examples of other countries where thousands of citizens have died and been maimed in similar circumstances.
Unfazed by this statement, Raila repeated the same warning.
Countries where leadership has been intransigent, obstinate, and refused to listen to calls for dialogue have ended up in very bad ways. You should ask the Mobutu Sese Seko, Kungwazabanga. When they wanted to talk, he did not want to talk. When he wanted them to talk, they told him it was too late.
Dr. Richard Bosire is one of the senior political science lecturers at the University of Nairobi. He reads no ill motive in CORD's statements.
By referring to Mobutu, it doesn't mean you are saying we have a military wing, CORD saying we have a military wing that is going to fight. No. It's only saying that have we learned from other countries? Nigeria has had serious issues with Boko Haram. They are unable actually to stamp out Boko Haram in the country.
I think CORD solutions. I don't think.
Fellow political scientist Martin Olo would beg to differ.
We agree on elections. You may not like the outcome of elections, but we have to live with them. Now, certainly, to say we have a dictatorship and to equate it even in some of the dictatorships around is to me a misleading statement, and therefore I wouldn't believe any politician who tells me that the situation in this country is so bad that it's only comparable to some of our failed neighbor states. I think that that's stretching our imagination, and that is perhaps letting out the real intentions of these rallies.
CORD's critics have raised the red flag over the coalition's rhetoric in their rallies, arguing that CORD leaders are signaling the genesis of a revolution.
Atakiona kama jirani ananyolewa, na wewe anza kufanya nini? Usipotia maji, utanyolewa bila maji. Simeona kama majirani wananyolewa? Tumeambia anza kutia maji, kichwa maji.
We are not cooling down any soon. In fact, it might get hotter.
Sasa tumesema wakikataa, Sabasaba ni national holiday.
The Raila we are seeing seems to be Raila that is saying, look, it's now or never. I have to either show what I'm made of or I will never have the opportunity. So he's kicking, and he's making sure that in terms of pushing his agenda, he's being abrasive about it, and perhaps the period he's been out of government and out in the US has given him time to recollect and to decide on a path.
These rallies have been done for the last only 2 weeks. Yeah. It's not something that it's actually kind of spontaneous. People are told we're going to meet at Uhuru Park, and they're full. But for me, it's an indicator to the state that actually people are aware of their rights, and actually they kind of support the opposition on this one.
CORD will not in any way try to divide our people. It is the responsibility of the president to act responsibly and not to try to divide the Kenyans or polarize the relationship among Kenyan community at this very critical moment in our country's history.
My deputy and I undertook to make sure that the country will never go the route of ethnic division and political violence. I reiterate that Kenya will not go that route again.
As July 7th fast approaches, CORD appears to be gathering momentum for their agenda. Meanwhile, Jubilee is planning counter-rallies on the same day. The fear is that with the two political giants on the campaign trail this early, perhaps the real issues Kenyans are facing could end up as simply a sidebar. Asha Mwilu, KTN, Nairobi.